Welcome back to Hype Girl Energy. Today we're chatting with Kelli Alldredge, the dynamic president of Chicken N Pickle, a one-of-a-kind entertainment venue that's changing the game with its unique blend of pickleball, food, and community. She's also a national champion in world team tennis, proving she's no stranger to competition and teamwork. I'm so excited to dive into her journey, the lessons she's learned, and how she's championing women in business and community all at once. Kelli, thanks so much for being here. I am lost. I can't even explain.
Humbled to be here. Thank you for thinking of us.
Oh my gosh, my pleasure. Let's just start from the get-go. Tell us a little bit about your background. How did you get from pastime to present day at Chicken N Pickle and your role here?
It's an untraditional story. I graduated from K-State in '98 with a degree in kinesiology.
Okay.
Moved to Kansas City, launched my training career. Personal training, loved the gym, fitness instructor, poured my heart into the fitness industry, and I was a Chiefs cheerleader. So that's what brought me to Kansas City in '98. Long story short, I always played tennis growing up.
Okay.
So after I had kids, picked up a tennis racket again, just,
nice.
More like, I'm going to go whack a few tennis balls, but started playing tennis pretty competitively, fell in love with it. Again, it was kind of my second round of tennis.
A little resurgence.
Yeah. And a very good tennis friend of mine, love him, his name's Jose Evans, introduced me to Chicken N Pickle. So Jose is good friends with the founder, Dave Johnson.
Okay.
And I'll never forget, we're talking 2016.
Okay, you're right on.
So pickleball is a household name. In 2016, when I first got that text from Jose, hey, do you want to come play some pickleball? I had no idea what it was, but I am a yes girl. That has been, and that's important in this journey. But he sent a good big text to a lot of tennis people. My buddy opened this place up in North Kansas City who can play pickleball Sunday at 2. And I remember telling my husband, I think I'm going near the airport. Like in my mind, and I do live in Johnson County, I thought I was headed to Zona Rosa to play a sport I'd never heard of. And I was like, I have no idea what pickleball is. But of course said yes. And walked into Chicken N Pickle, brand new facility, and really was blown away.
Yeah.
It kind of was a love at first sight. Played pickleball with my tennis friends and started playing every Sunday.
Oh my God.
So started playing every Sunday, met the founder, sometimes would play with us, sometimes not. Got to know him on a friendly basis.
Yep.
I've always had a heart to serve the community, just kind of the way I was brought up, do your part. So at this time, I was helping a nonprofit named Jamie's Wish, actually one that I founded in honor of a sorority sister, raise money for KU Cancer Center off Green Hills Road, which is near Chicken N Pickle in North Kansas City. So in my mind, I had been concocting a charity pickleball tournament. So we're now in 2017.
Okay.
I think we could fundraise here. But we had just kind of committed to a new project, Jamie's Wish. We raised money to improve infusions rooms. Finally had the guts to ask Dave, the founder, have you hosted a charity event here? And if you know him or get to know him, he's like, we never have, but you can.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll give you the courts. I'll throw in some food, but you'll have to figure this out. He's like, we've never had a community event here. I'm like, great. So I was really wearing a hat for the nonprofit.
Okay.
And we're talking mid 2017. And I remember asking Dave, if you're going to give me all the courts, when's a good time for us to host this event?
Yeah.
He's like, definitely January. Great. So we're in January of 2018.
Okay.
And I really worked with the Chicken N Pickle team, and so many of that team is still with us today. We laugh and we reminisce, but how to have a charity event, how to have a pickleball tournament. We sold out different brackets, had a silent auction, live auction, and I just kind of ran with it.
Okay.
So Dave stops in on a cold January 2018. Courts had been open a little over a year. Restaurant had been open right at a year.
Yes.
And it was a perfect storm. He's like, there's 250 people here. It's 10 degrees outside. what is going on? It's 10 a.m. in the morning. And I love when he tells the story because he's like, everyone kept thanking me. And he's like, I don't know what I did, but he's like, everyone's like, you're this great guy. Thank you. Thank you. I've never been here. I can't wait to bring my family back. Like, again, it was just this perfect storm. And here's what's crazy. We raised $80,000 that day.
Wow.
I'm talking a 6-hour event, $80,000. People are having a blast. How many fundraisers do you go to in tennis shoes? And
Well, exactly. It's not your
on a
everyday
Saturday
gala type of event. Yeah.
And on the flip side, it was one of the best days of business Chicken N Pickle had had.
Wow.
And Dave and I joke about, I'm pretty sure I had an email before I got home from the event. Can you come see me? And he's like, I'm pretty sure I waited at least a day or two. But needless to say, that next week, he did say, can you come see me?
Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm like, he probably wants me to recap everything we did and
Totally.
make a playbook. And I popped in his office and he's like, I want to hire you. And I almost laughed, like, I love my life. I'm not looking for a new job. I have 3 kids. I'm playing a ton of competitive tennis. I'm personal training. But I felt so passionately that Chicken N Pickle had something really special. And I did. I'm like, I challenge you to, when you're not busy, do good with your property. It's going to be a win-win. It's going to be a strategic win-win. You would not have been busy that Saturday morning. I think we were there 9 to 1. Donate space. So we kind of went back and forth, and I agreed to help him part-time.
Okay.
So kind of walked out of there like, I will help you part-time, but I believe so much just in what this venue had to offer.
Yeah. And what kind of capacity part-time?
I mean, we're talking like 20 hours a week.
Okay.
And he wanted whatever I did that day replicated.
Okay.
And I remember asking him, like, how are you answering charity requests? He's like, I don't think we are. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, there's just so much opportunity for you to become a staple in the community.
Amazing.
So started part-time. My first business card, I still have it on my desk today with my current card, was charity coordinator.
Okay.
And we had 1 location open.
Yep.
And just kind of jumped in. And I will say it was not easy. You forget when you're in your career seasoned how hard it is to start a whole new career.
For sure.
So
You blur out.
it was, the first jump in was challenging.
Yeah.
People are like, who is this girl? And what is she doing? But it was a quick, warm welcome. And Chicken N Pickle, you see the social impact. And I know we're a business. I know we have to make money. That's how we've grown.
Yeah.
But we have a tremendous social impact that we give our communities each and every day. So that is what gets me out of bed. Fired up every day still. I love it more today than I did as a customer.
Oh my God.
But so that's how my journey started. Started part-time. I'll give it to Dave. He recognized that first month I was not working part-time.
Yeah.
And shifted to full-time.
Okay.
And I adjusted some of my training hours. And fun fact, I still do personal training today. I've maintained a few clients very early in the morning. So that was my commitment to Dave, is I'll go all in.
Yeah.
But I am going to still personal train a little bit. So that's my fun fact. Still do that a little bit.
Bit of a hobby.
Probably the only time I'm not thinking about Chicken N Pickle.
Yeah.
Actually.
So they were fine.
And just really, it was a startup at the time. And I can't say enough about if you get an opportunity to work with a startup to do it,
Yep.
whether they succeed or fail. And I love telling people that. You're going to learn so much, whether this startup makes it or does it.
For sure.
Still say yes. You wear many hats. You're doing many different things. Dave himself was like, I did not realize what I was building. The beauty of pickleball sells itself.
Mm-hmm.
Then you pair it with phenomenal food.
Yep.
And this was not the intent, but this is who we are. We're a very low-tech, old-school property. So for anyone that's ever been to Chicken N Pickle, we try to remain that way. You are not going to be ordering from an iPad. You are not going to be scanning a QR code. We are all about human connection.
Amazing.
And that's what pickleball is. And we laugh. A lot of times, if it's a really like tough decision, we remind ourselves our entire company is based off a wooden paddle and a plastic ball. You know, just
Very
keep
basic.
it simple.
Yeah.
But I so fell in love with everything the company stood for. And my next responsibility was to get involved on the pickleball side,
Okay.
which was natural as a tennis player, programming, leagues.
Oh my God.
That was a very natural. And then can you help on the marketing side, whether I was ready or not? Of course.
You started basket.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. That gritty. I really don't know what I'm doing, but I'll do it. Then it evolved to creating a partnership team from scratch, then kind of a vice president to president. So that's been my journey to where I am today.
Wow. Okay. And in that time, you've watched it grow from 1 to 13 locations?
Yeah, we're recording today, but we are in the process of opening number 13.
Oh my gosh. And you've now expanded beyond the Kansas City Metro.
Right.
What does the future of Chicken N Pickle look like?
I will say we're catching our breath. So
Okay.
we're in a spot where we have grown so fast
Yep.
that we were able to maintain the culture. That was our top priority. But we got to take a step back and look at everything about our business. So I'm beyond excited. Never have I been with this company where we're not building, opening, operating, building, opening, operating. So after 13, really for the rest of 2025 this year, we are not going to open another one.
Okay.
And we're taking a breath of fresh air. We are looking, which compliments to Chicken N Pickle, we made it look really easy. There's a lot of concepts all over the
Trying to
nation
replicate.
that are like, I can build a restaurant in pickleball courts. So we are looking at if there's a merger and acquisition play
Okay.
for us to continue to grow, or do we need to continue to build ground up?
Mhm.
We're willing, and the answer is probably both.
Okay.
But the rise of construction costs today, we're just going to be like,
Factor.
get this 13th open.
Yep.
For the next 6 months, we're going to really explore the merger and acquisition opportunity,
Okay.
and then kind of restart in 2026.
And where's that 13th location?
It's at Thornton, Colorado. We talk hyper local around Chicken N Pickle because we really do want to feel and be a local spot, but it's North Denver.
Okay. Very fun.
Yeah.
Looking at, you were talking about the startup aspect. What were some of the opportunities and challenges that you faced during the growth phase over the last, however many years would that be? 9?
9.
Is that math right?
Yeah. Really, I went on payroll in 18.
Okay.
Concept, the courts in North Kansas City opened in 2016, restaurant 2017.
Okay.
A few months apart. I would say our biggest challenge was just the pace we grew.
Yeah.
And the grittiness. And if I have a question today, I have no one to call. There's no one before me that was the president of Chicken N Pickle. And we all feel that, like, no one's ever done this. And there's great mentors like Topgolf, Dave and Buster's, but we're not quite them. And there's great restaurants like Red Door Grill and Spin that we align ourselves with, but we're not quite them either. So we're this unique concept, and there's no one out there for us to get advice from. And sometimes we just have to figure it out. And we've had a lot of failures, but we fail fast, we move on. And that's kind of the beauty of our founder.
Yeah.
This is, he allows that, try it. If it doesn't work, we'll pivot. It's a very nimble. We use the word quick and nimble around the office a lot, and we are really quick and nimble.
What do you feel like has been the biggest learning opportunity you've experienced in the last 9 years?
I think the hospitality industry, and I say this, first of all, it is a very warm and welcoming industry.
Yeah.
And the diversity of people in this industry is phenomenal. And at the core, they just want to serve. Like that is the common ground. And that's how I got involved, is that heart to serve. But I have a very different perspective of the hospitality industry and just the amazing humans. And anytime I go into a restaurant or a concert venue, whatever I'm experiencing, I just have such a different appreciation for the staff and why they're there and why they're choosing that line of work.
So that brings me to my next question. What is your why? Why do you choose to spend your time in Chicken N Pickle? What keeps you coming into work every day?
My favorite, it's hard to say, I can't say favorite. This is what gets me out of bed is the community arm. And we have a full-time community impact coordinator at every store.
At each location?
At each location.
Wow.
And their job, I would look at you and say, get up every day, get up every day and make our community better.
Yeah.
I don't care how big or how small. So literally every day we're doing something.
Yep.
And we do great things. We do big things. We do massive events. You've been to Valley Llama. But it's almost the everyday stuff no one knows about. That's my why. So, there could be a family here with a terminally ill child, and we brought them in and they're playing pickleball and we're going to treat them to lunch. No one knows we do that. And I do that stuff every day. And it's pretty amazing. But through our give back nights, and we love to donate space. We try to be very strategic and make it a win for our community partner, win for the property. But I love to say we walk the walk. Like, we don't just say our hearts are local. We freaking live it. And I know we need there's oftentimes PR firms are like, you need to share this. You need to do it more. But I'm like, but do we? I could go. Yeah, I love that everyday factor where we're just doing our part in the community.
I feel like, so you mentioned that you were a chief cheerleader.
Yeah.
I feel like you've got that cheerleader spirit. Like, where does that come from? Is that natural? Do you, what keeps you, you've got this great energy about you? Where does it come from?
Thank you. I feel like I'm a beautiful mix of my mom and dad.
Okay.
My dad is the hardest working person I know. And my mom is just that upbeat. I don't care what is going on. I'm seeing lemonade, not lemons. They have a great approach to life.
Yeah.
It just allows you to laugh about it. And there are times like, you know what? We should have set a double-sided buffet, but no one died. You know what? Like, there are times you just have to grow and learn and make the best of every situation. But I do love learning.
Yeah.
And I think to be in this startup and to be in this role and to get where I am today, it was that deep desire to learn it. Like, I don't know this. I don't know it. I'm going to figure it out. And we fail a lot at Chicken N Pickle, and people don't see all the failures. We've actually talked about, we should do a blunder, of all the things we've tried and didn't work and tried and didn't work. But it's a nitty-gritty attitude that we have here at Chicken N Pickle.
How do you relay that into your employees here and the people that come? Because I feel like it's very obvious, like when you step onto the grounds and when you interact with the staff, and everyone just kind of has that attitude. So how do you feel like you guys help shape the culture with making sure that translates to everyone here?
It's amazing. Like, number one, I feel like we grew with people that have been with this company from day one. And that I don't know how we would have done that with constant turnover.
Yep.
There are so many people on our leadership team that have been with us from day one.
Yep.
Or have been with Dave, the founder, in another business adventure.
Okay.
That have kind of came over. So I almost to credit, it was all the leaders growing together.
Yep.
That really impacted that culture. I love to push, but it's out of love. And I think you can do it in a positive way.
Yeah.
I really do. I think it's just how you deliver that feedback. And it's because I care. We talk a lot about transparent feedback, like, say it. Yeah. Nothing's going to hurt my feelings. And we operate very transparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you use that when you're in your hiring process? Like, when you're bringing people in, like, what are the key things that you're looking for with?
I am looking for attitude, work ethic, and I know it's different in every industry. I'm shocked how little I look at their education background.
Interesting. Okay.
Like, it's fun to know, but it doesn't stick with me.
Yeah.
But I am looking at just their attitude. And in hospitality, one of our key words here is we want to provide unreasonable hospitality.
Have you read the book?
I have. And it kind of was a game changer.
Books. It is a game changer.
And that's really where I got that term. I'm like, this is what
makes so much sense.
Yeah. So just their outlook, their attitude, and how they relate to people.
So let's talk about unreasonable hospitality, because as you've been chatting, I'm like, I feel like I need to like ask her if she's read this book, and here it is,
Yes.
have that big conversation. Yeah. Okay, how did you get exposed to the book? What are your thoughts around the concept of unreasonable hospitality? Because I feel like it is applicable to any industry. It does not matter what it is, and it's all about, like, I've been talking about it with my trainer. I told him about it. He's been reading it now. He's got his crew reading it, and it's this dynamic book, but I feel like it's translatable in all aspects of life. So how did you get exposed to it, and how do you implement that here?
We read a lot of books. It's funny because we don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what drives us. We are always reading a book.
Yep.
And so I want to say this was maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and it was a simple suggestion. I can't remember who. I did not find this book. Someone within the company read this book and was like, it is unbelievable. You got to read it.
Yeah.
I read it. I'm like, it is unbelievable. Made my direct reports read it.
Yeah.
It's that ripple effect. And it seems so easy. You read the book, and that's kind of like that simple concept.
Yes.
And why is it so hard? Yeah. Again, why is it so hard? No, we can't do that. Oh, that room is closed. You know, there's little things that's like, no, it's not. They want to go up there. I think at the end of the day, people first, like customers first. And I think what draws you to Chicken N Pickle is very different than what draws me to Chicken N Pickle, than what draws my 17-year-old to Chicken N Pickle.
Yeah.
And we have to remember that. Someone may have came here for pickleball. I may have come here for the rooftop. I may have come here to get a great chicken sandwich. So we have such a diverse group on our property every day, all times of the day. So we just have to lean into the guest, people first. And that's, we try to live that.
What do you think keeps people coming back?
I hope, again, I do think there's some power to our properties of that old school feel.
For sure.
And that was not intentional. It is now, but when we built this, pickleball, the game itself is beautiful. You have to have, people don't play by themselves unless you're just hitting it on a wall. So most pickleball, you have 3 others. It's inclusive. I believe anyone can do that. I say it, and I mean that. Yeah. Anyone can play pickleball. And I think people come here initially for the pickleball, but then they're like, oh my gosh, they have cornhole. Oh my gosh, the food's delicious. Yeah. Oh my gosh, they have Sunday brunch. Oh my gosh, I could bring my company here. Oh my gosh, I could celebrate a birthday party here. So I think it's the endless opportunities. I think people come for one thing and discover something else that they want to come back for, and discover something else that they want to come back for. And we do try to be nimble. We kind of have like this 3-year rule, like, we've done that the last 3 years. We got to do something different. Yeah. Our properties are big, and we have this fierce appetite to activate our properties.
Okay.
So we have an ice rink in the winter, because it's really cold and people don't get out. So we build an ice rink here in Overland Park in the winter. And so we just we call it surprise and delight a lot.
Yes, I love the phrase. I use it often.
Okay. I want people to come here, but realize, next time I want to come for something else.
Yes.
Yeah.
There may be multiple reasons for people to keep coming back.
Yeah. But I do think we foster human connection on this property. And almost every property I visit, I will walk around to see how many people are on their cell phones.
Okay.
Because if it's too many, we're not doing our job.
Interesting.
If it's a fun group making a TikTok, great. Can you get Chicken N Pickle in the background? but we really, that's a sign to us.
Yeah.
If there's too many people on their phones, we are not activating our properties in the way we want to. So that might be a secret sauce of
totally.
We're really intentional about it.
And I feel like it is very easy to lose human connection with the self-love these days. Like
Yeah.
there's a level of dependency on it to where people almost don't know how to have conversation like you and I are having right now, right? Like how do you go deeper and have better conversations instead of like the surface level, or just there's something more important going on the phone.
Yeah. And I think a family has a great time. And I don't know if they put two and two together, but I think having your phones put away for an hour and you were just on the pickleball court and you got to sit and have a great meal while playing cornhole instead of scrolling. So I think people have a great time.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big part of it. We talk a lot about our Midwest values,
Right.
even as we're growing. And that's really something we were very intentional about because we are in Las Vegas. We're in Phoenix.
Big markets.
Big markets, Houston, San Antonio, Dallas, St. Louis, Oklahoma City, Wichita, Denver. But we want people to know we're a Midwest company.
Mm-hmm.
So
Keep the values.
Keep the values. And we grew very strategically down I-35.
Oh, you're right.
Uh-huh. So like the first time we jumped off I-35 was a big deal because we were 2.5 hours, Wichita, Oklahoma City, Dallas.
Brilliant.
So it's almost like you'd rent a car, stay the night, make your way down and fly back. That was very normal.
That's right.
But to be in different time zones, like that's a big thing for us. But to share our heart and soul and Midwest values throughout the nation, it's really humbling.
So I know you're obviously wanting to kind of stay steady after 13 is done, but like, do you have any desire to go to the East or the West Coast?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
And we do. It's kind of like, I keep referencing the Morgan Wallen song, like I'm a little crazy, but the world's insane.
Yeah.
The world is just a little insane right now. Construction costs, tariffs, we might start construction thinking it's one price and it could end up. So that's just kind of where we're like the next 6 months, just catch our breath, sit tight. And then, but yes, we will absolutely keep growing. And matter of fact, I kind of feel like it's a setup. Yeah, I do. I don't view it as a slowdown. I really view it as a setup. But yeah, we are not done. We are here to keep growing.
And as a small business owner, like which I guess you can't even call it small at this point because it's not quite so small. Like how do you get the energy or the courage to grow? Like if you're talking to a small business owner, how do you tell them to do that? Like what is that first step? What does that vision look like? How do you get from A to B to C?
Yeah, I would say you just have to go.
Yeah.
I think if you overplan, overthink, I've already started and I've made 10 mistakes and you haven't even started yet.
Yeah.
So I do think there is beauty in going. Mm-hmm. And I use this phrase a lot. You don't learn to drive in a parked car.
It's great.
And I use that a lot with the team. Like, you don't learn to drive in a parked car. We just have to do it.
Figure it out.
And we're going to learn so much. And next year will be better. And so I think just to have the guts to go.
Yeah.
And have the right people around you, have those truth tellers, and everyone needs them.
Switching gears just a little bit, talk to me about what it means to be a female leader and how do you mentor other female leaders?
I am passionate about that. I will, and it might be the mom in me, it might be my age being where I am. I'm really passionate about empowering the younger females, women in our company. I'm involved in Women Leaders here in Kansas City, Women Leaders in Sports. It's a incredible nonprofit based here in Kansas City. And they say it great. It was the first time I heard it this blunt. That's great. You're at the top. Who are you pulling with you? Like physically.
Great question. Reach
your hand out and who are you tugging along? Because if you're not, we're never going to break that mold.
Yeah.
And there's so many eager young women in this company. So we meet monthly. We call it our Women's Connect. And it's once a month, 2 to 2:30. And we have different guest speakers, open topics. I want to be relatable. That is one thing. I want to build my reputation on being really relatable and not intimidating. So I am really transparent in that call.
Yeah.
And I think I'm here because Dave believed in me. So I want to pass that on. I want to believe in our young women so fiercely until they believe in themselves.
Yeah.
But that continuing education, opportunities to network. I'm going to a conference in Dallas, and it is a high-level conference. And I asked, I'm going to bring someone. She's a senior level, you know, not. And they're like, that's great. She can sit in the back of the room. I'm like, that's great, but she won't sit in the back of the room. She's going to sit next to me.
Yeah.
So you kind of do have to bulldoze your way.
Sure.
But wherever I go, someone's going with me.
Amazing.
And I like to spread that out. And I do think it's just that confidence and imposter syndrome. And we all have it.
Yeah.
But we're all here for a reason. And I try to lean into our younger staff.
Mm-hmm.
And 'cause I don't know it all. I mean, they have the best ideas, but to be intentional about shouting them out to other leaders, or even sending an email to our CEO and president bragging on someone.
Yeah.
Just highlighting their work and giving them confidence. But I'm always forever stuck with that image of, okay, you constantly have to reach out your hand and bring someone with you.
That's beautiful. This series is called Hype Girl Energy. Who is a hype girl that you either look up to or like to follow or you find inspiring?
I always say the late Princess Diana. I wish I could have met her.
Okay.
She, like, just her heart and the way she was a mother and in the public eye, and she stayed so true to herself. Love her. And then I love to talk about the way I grew up. So my grandmother worked, and like reflecting back,
That wouldn't have been the norm.
that it was not the norm.
Yeah.
I thought that was the norm. I remember, like, she was a realtor,
Yeah.
you know, going around East Wichita on Sunday and putting signs on the ground. And my mom worked and my grandmother worked, and I really thought that was normal. I really thought that is how you do it all. So I just think I've always had that feeling of you could do it all. Now, I freaking love Mel Robbins today.
How can you not?
So I do love her today. And I know, God, there's some good ones out there.
There are some good ones.
Yeah. Michelle Obama. I've read her book recently.
Good.
I could not say just one. Princess Diana kind of sticks out,
Yeah.
probably because I just am so fond of her. But my mom, my grandmother, my sisters, it's really those closest to me.
Well, Kelli, thank you so much for joining. This was such an honor, and I just loved learning from you and about your experience. So I appreciate it.
Thank you. So nice to meet you.
Likewise.